In this video, I am going to be investigating the homeless dog problem here in Thailand.
They can be abandoned, they can be mistreated, they can be neglected, they can be tortured.
แล้วมันฟันลึกเข้าไปจนถึงปอดอะค่ะใครจะรับผิดชอบค่าความเสียหายที่เกิดขึ้น
To help me dig further into this, I'm going to be heading to Soy Dog Foundation here in Phuket.
And what we do is trying to find for them, first of all, is a safe environment, and then we try to rehome them, can be in Thailand or can be abroad.
A sad and recurring theme here in Thailand is the mistreatment of the animals, whether it's the drugged up, declawed tigers in petting zoos, the elephants forced to carry a seemingly unending queue of elephant pant-wearing tourists, the chained up monkeys, the caged animals in the open markets in Bangkok. There seems to be an animal problem, but is the problem the animals or is it us humans?
We are at Soy Dog now. So I'm outside the front of Soy Dog now and we are going to go in.
What you may not know is that Thailand has a very sad past when it comes to dogs. In the 90s, more than 200 dogs were euthanized each day. However, in 2000, the Animal Guardians Association campaigned against the practice, which they argued violated Buddhist principles. They launched a sterilization program in Bangkok, and the city adopted a pro-life dog policy. Despite this, up until recently, the dog meat trade still existed here in Thailand.
This is original cake, you know. One time that you ask the dog around 11.
11 dogs used to go in here.
Journey from Thailand to Vietnam.
In 2013, a report by CNN showed that there was still a massive problem with dogs being smuggled out of Thailand into Vietnam.
Up to 1,000 dogs will be transported in a single truck on a journey.
The report says that dogs were packed into tight wire baskets, sometimes 20 or more to a cage. And in 2013, at the time of the report, as many as 200,000 live dogs were smuggled each year from northeast Thailand across the Mekong River, with some trucks carrying up to 1,000 dogs, and many of these dogs were dehydrated, stressed, and some even dying of suffocation on the trip.
So what we are doing is we are jumping onto one of the tours that Soy Dogs do. So they do a 1:30 tour Monday to Friday, which is a big one, and then a 2:30 smaller tour. We're a bit late, so we've jumped on the 2:30 tour. So that was the dog hospital, and apparently the staff work there 24 hours a day looking after the cats and dogs. Apparently the dogs get very spoiled there as well.
Soy Dog has cared for thousands of dogs rescued from the dog meat trade and found loving homes for them. Despite the meat trade effectively being banished in Thailand, Soy Dog's undercover investigators continue to monitor for signs of the trade re-emerging. And Soy Dog are actively expanding their efforts to neighboring countries as we speak.
But since the foundation started, there was a decrease in 90% of the dogs living in the street. 20 years ago, there were roughly 70,000 dogs living in the street of the island. Now it's down to about 6,500. So, there's a massive difference.
So nice to actually come in here and have a little stroke of the dogs. A little play with them, touch them, see them. Ooh, lovely little thing, no? Yeah. Ooh, cutie. Oh, we got a cheeky one. We got a cheeky one. Yeah, off it. Oh no, we gotta save the top. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! You cheeky little thing. SOS. Yeah.
I recently read a book by the Kamapa in which he made the point that when we spend money, we send a micro signal validating the action into the market. So when we buy a puppy from a breeder, we are validating that breeder's actions, propagating the continuation of that action, and sending a micro signal into the larger market as a whole as to the demand for the specific things we have exchanged money for. Now, with this in mind, I wonder how much puppy breeding is playing a part in the homeless dog problem here in Thailand. And in fact, I am going to be doing a video soon on puppy breeding here in Thailand. So if that is the kind of thing that you dig, please make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out.
Mirko behind us, what happened to her legs?
Well, Mirko, as you can see, she's very friendly with people, not so keen on other animals. She's sort of a prima donna. She used to live in the street, yeah? Because she likes people, but she doesn't like motorbikes, she was chasing motorbikes. So one day people got fed up, and with the machete, they slashed her front legs. So when she came here, the front leg, the bit of the front leg was still attached to her body, but just hanging from the skin. So that's why you see we have to cut and remove a little bit up. We got this wheelchair specially made for her in Vietnam. And when she's gonna go to her forever home in England, she will go with her forever, the wheelchair.
During the tour, there was one little thing nibbling away at me, and no, it wasn't a Chihuahua with an inferiority complex. No, this niggling was about the sterilization of the dogs who came to the foundation. You see, I've recently been pondering the Buddhist principle of the middle way, which tries to walk the tightrope between nihilism and extremism. But I've also been wondering if I've personally been using this principle as an excuse for mediocrity. For example, I don't want to go to the extreme of eating no meat or eating too much meat. I'd like to simply be in the middle. Eat a little bit of meat. But am I using the principle of non-extremity to avoid the extremely hard work of becoming a better person and reducing the suffering of other beings? I just wasn't sure. Are extreme solutions always wrong? So I asked the question.
So one question I have is around like the total number of dogs. So the ignorant person in me thinks, well, the more dogs, the better. I love dogs, so I want there to be as many dogs as possible, but also I don't want dogs to suffer. Where's the sort of thinking with sterilization, and where do you sort of see that fine balance or that line between too much and where's right?
Little.
Yeah.
Nature always tries to find a solution to that, yeah? So I don't know if you've seen here, even our puppy area still has a lot of puppies. So even though we try to sterilize as many dogs as possible, as many dogs as possible, there's always some new dogs that come in, they're not sterilized, and they bring back the balance. So you will never get to a point where all the animals get removed or there's gonna be too little. Because if all animals get sterilized, theoretically, they would all die of old age, correct? And there's gonna be no new puppies. But then you will always find new dogs coming from other areas, and eventually they will have puppies. So what we're gonna do, if we see new puppies, we're not going to get rid of them. We sterilize them, and then they go back to the street. But don't worry, in the future, more dogs will gonna come. So it will never gonna happen that you have 0 puppies, but also we try to avoid having an overcrowded area. We cannot have too many dogs, because then too many dogs would also create problem with the community. So we try to avoid having problem with the community, but we try also to have a good quality of life for these dogs.
It's hard to quite get a grasp on the sheer size of this place. I mean, there's beautiful wall behind me, but there's just so many cages. There's so many dogs, and so many volunteers as well who come and take the dogs for a walk. It's lovely. So this is the founder of Soy Dog, Jill Daly, I think it's pronounced, and she died in 2017, unfortunately, after a battle with cancer. And before that, she actually lost both of her legs trying to save a dog. A dog was scared, ran into a buffalo field, she cut her legs, got an infection, and she actually lost both of her legs when trying to save that dog. But apparently she came back to Soy Dog on a wheelchair afterwards to continue the mission. If people like what they've seen here, how can people support? How can they get involved?
Every little help. It can be from a small donation of $5 per month, or can be a one-time donation, leaving reviews after you do a visit with us, can be coming here volunteering for just 2 days, can be deciding to adopt a dog from a shelter. Doesn't have to be this shelter. As long as you adopt it, don't shop, because there's a lot of beautiful dogs and beautiful cats in shelter, so no need to go and buy new one. Sometimes, like you, come here and do a video and help us spread the word, okay? I always say the ocean is made of little drops, so every little help.
Love that. So there you heard it. If you liked what you saw here, make sure to help in any way that you can. I'll put a link down below where you can make a small donation and find out more. And if you are in Phuket and you've got a few days to kill or a few hours to kill, you can come here, volunteer, and walk a few lovely dogs as well. So yeah, we were just speaking, and I found out that apparently it costs $20 million a year to run Soy Dog Foundation, and they've got places all around the country that help. So they really are doing something big here. And we also spoke with someone who didn't want to be on camera. They wanted to say this off camera, and they said that what they've seen in Phuket in particular, they said that apparently a big problem is a lot of tourists are coming here and they're getting cats, they're getting dogs, they come here for a couple of months, they get kicked out their condos, and they've got nothing to do, and they go there and they take perfectly healthy dogs and just leaving them on the street, and then they're going and breeding, or they're taking them there. And they actually shared a story about one lady who had a perfectly healthy Frenchie and they brought it to Soy Dog. They said, we haven't got room. Then she took it to the vet and asked to have the dog put down. And the vet, good on them, said, this is a healthy dog, I'm not putting this down, you need to deal with something. Now luckily the Soy Dog ended up finding that particular dog a home, but yeah, apparently tourists are a big problem that's really driving up the dog homeless situation here in Thailand. So if you are coming to Thailand and you are thinking of getting a dog, please do make sure that you are not part of the problem and you really think you can look after the animal long term.
I love living in Thailand. Thailand is a beautiful country, and whilst this video might seem to give Thailand a little bit of a bad rap, what is a country but the totality of the individuals who reside within its borders and call themselves its people? Thailand is but the land on which we rest, but the actions performed on that land are done by the people, both the negative and the positive too.